Donald Trump was having a press conference today when he abruptly stormed out. What made him storm out? A question from a reporter. Oh my God. And that they would not listen to his commands as he tried to bully them. So it's okay. We have the video. You can judge for yourself, and then I'll break it down right afterwards. He's going to get a question from Weijia Jiang from CBS, and then the person who comes in next is Caitlin Collins from CNN. Let's watch.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Said many times that the U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world, and maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
What, sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay, anybody else? Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have two questions.
No, it's okay.
But you pointed to me. I have two questions, Mr. President.
Next, please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on
Sorry, I just
the young lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish,
Okay.
but can I ask you
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, for the authoritarian right-wingers out there, they might like that. Oh, yeah, if a woman doesn't listen to you, you just walk out, okay? Just show them who's boss. Or maybe for them, who cares if it's a woman or not a woman? You just show the press who's the boss. But for the rest of us, okay, there's so many things wrong with that. Let's just break it down one by one. First of all, she asked what I think is actually a relatively easy question. So, you know, if you upset Donald Trump's fragile ego, he loses it every time. That's a nasty question. No, it's actually a super easy question, if I'm being honest. So she asked, why do you keep emphasizing the testing numbers when there's so many people dying? Well, you know, you could say, you know, I want to emphasize how much we're doing in testing, not because it's a competition across different countries, but to show you that we're trying the best we can in battling this pandemic. And one of the ways that you battle it is by doing more testing. So I'm happy that we're doing more testing because that actually will help save more lives. Super easy answer. And the reason I can tell you that right away is, one, I know the issues. Apparently Trump doesn't. Two, the real problem is that they're not doing enough testing. I wish they would do a lot more testing. But if you're getting challenged on the testing numbers, it's so easy to say, hey, testing is great. And that's why us doing a lot of testing is a positive thing. Also, the reason why I can answer it and Trump can't is because I have at least 2 brain cells to rub together, whereas he's got one just bouncing around there and cannot make a connection with any other brain cell. She's asking you such an easy question. No, that's a nasty question. Okay, so don't tell reporters that they ask nasty questions, especially when they're asking perfectly normal questions. Look, I've been asked nasty questions by the press. I know what a nasty question is. That ain't it. That's actually a fairly, if you ask me, a really simple question. So the second thing is, he says, you know, what do you go ask China? Now, she then follows up with, why are you directing that to me? I don't know that he was directing it to her other than the fact that he's yelling at her. Her inference, if you're not getting it, is, are you saying that because I'm Asian? Could that be the case? Sure, it's Donald Trump. Of course it could be the case. Could it also not be the case? Yeah, it could be that she asked about it and he wants to blame everything on China, and it might not have anything to do with the fact that she's Asian. But why would a reporter, any reporter, go ask China when they're the White House correspondent in America? I mean, they're not. I mean, I'm sure that Jiang and Collins and all the other reporters there would love to ask tough questions of the Chinese government, but they don't get to go to the Chinese government's press conferences. They get to go to the American government's press conferences because that's their job. So he does this all the time. So one time he asked an African-American reporter to arrange a meeting between him and the Congressional Black Caucus. Why would a reporter do that? You're the president of the United States. You can make that happen pretty easily. So he has no concept of anything, of how the press is supposed to work, how the president's supposed to operate. So then why did he walk out, and why wouldn't he let Caitlin Collins ask a question? Well, number one, he hates CNN. Number two, he moved Caitlin Collins to the back, so they've got a history there. But he did point to her, but she was magnanimous and allowed her colleague to complete her question. That's what set Trump off. He's like, oh, you have defied me. I already told her she was nasty, and you let her ask a follow-up question. That is it. You are eliminated. I will try to find a friendlier reporter. So when that doesn't work, he just storms out. Childish through and through. It was always dangerous having a president who is not intelligent, is not competent, and is obsessed with himself, doesn't care about other human beings. That was always a recipe for disaster. But in the middle of a pandemic, it couldn't be worse. And this is exactly what we were scared to death of. Over 81,000 Americans dead. We have 5 times as many cases as the rest of the world combined. If you're actually trying to compare numbers, those are the most important numbers, and our administration is failing spectacularly. And so some of these questions are okay. Some of them are tough, but he hasn't really seen tough questions yet. I mean, let me into that press conference. He'll walk out in the first question, because if he was really challenged, he couldn't possibly answer any of these questions. My God, why didn't you order testing earlier? You're bagging about testing now. Well, we have quotes from you, from reported sources, saying that you didn't want the testing because it would have shown how bad the virus was and how bad the results were, and you were worried about your own political career. How many lives did you sacrifice, Mr. President, worrying about your ratings and your poll numbers? Has anybody in the White House calculated how many Americans lost their lives because you were worried about your own ego? Then I'd like to see him how he deals with that. Boom, he'll walk out in 1 second. That's the kind of question he should be getting from every reporter every day. Young Turks.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.